What's up? Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good?
But my question is about the current state of the market. I'm thinking about whether I should go in more. I know you guys talk about Don People's five cities to invest in. Thinking of whether I should go in more or just kind of wait for things to settle down a little bit. Of course, I think opportunity. There's a lot of opportunities out right now, but I want to make sure that
real estate or stocks.
Well, stocks, and then of course real estate because I'm doing stocks right now, but I definitely want to get into real estate. So.
All right, so that's a good question. So, all right, so should people be waiting on the sideline now, or should they be aggressively going in, or should they be tiptoeing in when it comes to investing in real estate and investing into stock market?
What stocks are you investing in, brother?
Of course, I'm doing the 2-Tech 2 index. Okay. I got that.
Tell me about the side bays in the portfolio you want to tell me about, though. Well, what you got? You got Terra Luna. What you got?
I got AMD. I got what's the other one? Let me look at my portfolio. I got AMD. I have what's this? Where's my portfolio? Adenosine. I forgot her name. I bought some of her stocks.
What's the ticker for that?
Let me see.
If you don't know her name off the top of your head, you can't be married to that company.
No, she was in EYL. She came.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, the lady.
I think that's the which we'll call it stock. The socially responsible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Responsible. Yeah.
So I got some of
hers. Shout out to the queen.
ETF. Okay.
And then I got semiconductor. I forgot the other name. One I have. What's my portfolio?
Okay.
So it's pretty scattered. But the thing about it is this. I'll give my 2 cents, and especially on the real estate thing, because this is what Don Peebles had said yesterday, where it's all relative. It depends on where you're actually investing. So that's why he said like the 5 areas that he's interested in, because there's always opportunities. But it's like, investing in Manhattan real estate right now is a lot different from investing in Milwaukee real estate, right? So, there are areas that are good buys right now that you can actually get even with interest rates being high, because that's another thing too. And MG talks about this a lot as well. Even interest rates being high is still relative. He talked about when he bought his first home, which was crazy. He said he bought a $900,000 house in 1987. That alone is crazy. Like, don't let that go over your head. Yeah. But he said his interest rate was like 9% or something like that, right? And the amount of money that he would have, it was like $100,000 a year. It was something crazy. So it's like, you could potentially still get a good deal in this market. But he also spoke about, he actually gave a lot of valuable information. Absolutely. The rental market is going to get stronger, because when people don't buy homes, they rent, because you have to live somewhere, right? So if you're not buying homes, if the housing, so there's always opportunities, even if something else. So if the housing market starts to decline, that means the rental market is going up, because that means that less people are buying homes, more people will be renting homes or renting apartments.
It's like an inverse index right there.
As a landlord, this is extremely beneficial to know, because it's like, okay, now if we're going to enter a recession, if interest rates stay high, if unemployment climbs, that means that less people will be buying homes. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be bad for the real estate market. It might be bad for the home buying market, for first-time home buyers. But from the landlord market, it's going to be actually very beneficial, because now rents are going to continue to go up because you have to live somewhere. And especially if you pick the right tenants, we've talked about this a lot. You want to pick tenants that have some level of stability, nurses, medical professionals, right? Because now rents are going to continue to go up. And especially if you pick the right tenants, we've talked about this a lot. You want to pick tenants that have some level of stability, nurses, medical professionals, right? Because now rents are going to continue to go up because you have to live somewhere. And especially if you pick the right tenants, A nurse is probably the most stable job that you can actually have in this economy. Firefighters, teachers, cops, all of these people have unions, and it's extremely difficult to get fired from these jobs. That's good to know, because when you're renting your apartment, you want to rent to somebody that has some level of stable income that you can rely on. So you also want to know the laws of the state when it comes to evictions. In New York, you can live in a house for 2 months with 2 years without paying rent and going back and forth to court. In Atlanta, it's 10 days, and you put an eviction notice on your door, and the marshals is coming to get you.
Day 6, that note on your door.
So as a landlord, which one would you rather be in, New York or Atlanta? It's a pretty easy choice to make. So, but if you don't know that, then so I think from that standpoint, you guys can talk about the stocks, but from the real estate standpoint, I think it's a good opportunity now. But you just have to know where and what price point. You never want to buy at a bad price point no matter what.
Yeah, I think it's the same philosophy. If you think about it, right? Like he's saying, there's specific places to invest. I think it's the same thing. If you look at the stock market, there's going to be specific sectors. Like I know Ian's talking about healthcare. That makes sense. We talked about energy. Obviously, we saw that made sense at the time. It was a good trade. Technology is down over 30%, right? This might not be the place. But if you look on the
Apple is not, though.
I'm going there, and I got you. If you look at there's specific points inside of these sectors that do make sense. Apple being one of those core, right? On the other end, you could look at it and say, hey, I haven't invested in technology. It's down 30%. This might be the time to invest. And that's one of the things I was asking Peter last night was based on the role that the Fed plays in investing, is it a good time, right? We keep hearing recession. We keep hearing 2023, at least for the first 6 months. But when we hear the Fed is going to hike their rates, right? It used to be 75 basis points, right? 75 points of 1%. All right, well, they're saying that inflation has come down a little bit. That's going to slow down. And so we saw that the market jumped when we saw that news. But what happens in December when we actually get the data? What does it say? Is it going to be 50 basis points? Because if it says 50, now people are saying, all right, well, this is more of a situation where we're not going to have to pay as much when we borrow money. And so if companies see that, then there's more money to have inside of these companies that you start seeing more innovation. So it's an interesting time. It depends on where you're at in it, right? Like if you were the person that said, you know what, I'm going to ride this thing out. I'm just going to wait, and I'm going to wait till these things become super discounted. I think, especially if you're talking about the technology sector, this might be the time, right? The fourth and first quarters of especially in investing are usually the best for technology. So it could be a time. Just depends on where you're at.
Janet is gone. Please stop asking about. Janet has left. She's on. Yeah, she's an entrepreneur. She's doing her thing. But it's like we get these same questions. What happened to the girl, bro? She left, bro. It's over. It's not.
I'm not even. I even see it too.
It's over.
Shout out to Jen. Shout out to Jen.
Like, but no, it's over. But I'm just saying, like,
I didn't see it.
Like, you gotta know when to just let things go, bro. Not coming back.
Most men don't. Shout out to the ladies. Listen, if the fellas be hanging on too long after you let him go, put it in comments. Let it go. Listen, we got to have a real discussion about the behavior of men, and y'all got to stop acting like
you don't want my love time.
Now listen. This is a reflection of Ian Dunlap, the Red Panda Rebellion. This is not a reflection of Trevor.
Keep going. I'm gonna do your background vocals.
Boy, what is wrong with y'all? My goodness. Now I'm gonna give you a real ass answer when it comes to investing. Only weak companies get destroyed by the Federal Reserve adjusting the basis points. Those are the companies that deserve to die. Google, Amazon, Microsoft are not worried about the adjustments in the Federal Reserve. They will be protected if you go do your research.
Only Amazon. Keep going.
Amazon is safe too, but if you are worried about that, you've invested fundamentally into a wrong company, because the basis point game is really an interest rate arbitrage game. So let's say hypothetically, and I told you guys 15% is when you start to have decay in a two index strategy. But if you buy at the right points, there's a way you can still stay afloat. Apple and Microsoft have done pretty well. If interest rates go up to like hypothetically 17%, you need a stock to really give you 20% gain for you to be positive. If it's not doing that, normally you're going to be in the negative. You have to pick a company that is going to produce profit regardless of what is going on in the market. Men, please listen to me. No matter what happens in your life, it is your job to protect, provide, pound, and be in profit. The companies that you invest in have to do the same. Why are we making this so hard? We want to have all these conversations and conjecture. Go execute. See, I'm a Harlem vibe right now. Right? This is my passion talking.
Yeah, I agree with that point, right? But the other side is for the person who's like a retail investor. Like take a company like Microsoft, right? If they didn't invest it in the right point, like you said, we can't time it. But if they didn't, let's just say
no, hold on, time out. Yes, we can, because I'm here. We're not gonna do that. Like Floyd said, I'm not the king of Vegas. I'm at the king. We can't say we can't time the market. And I proved this shit in real time. Nova Grants came on and said, I'm surprised at the stand. You surprised because I'm black? Okay, I feel you. Thank you for the stamp, though. That was all I needed. We can't time the market. You know, it's not beneficial for an organization, most hedge funds or banks, to tell you that you can then time the market, because if enough people learn how to do so, it does draw down edge for the average trader at an institution. We can't time the market. Now, the answer is now Apple, Microsoft, yes, if you hold for the long term, you'll still be fine. Same with real estate. All my real estate investors, what's the ideal time to hold a multifamily unit? Is it 5, 10, or 15 years? Watch the answers in the comments, and a commentary on how long to hold a stock is going to be the same. You notice Jerry Jones still has not sold the Dallas Cowboys, despite him being in them picket lines in 1954. Ish, you got some explaining to do about your man. Love you, my guy.
No, that I brought up Microsoft because I was saying the rates can affect a strong company, but long term, obviously, they're built to last in those environments. But short term, it can affect the company,
especially really weak companies.
Especially, yeah. So like that's the caveat. Yes, it can destroy. We've seen it, right? Like Peloton, we've seen a company like that, right? We've seen what it's done to Zoom. Microsoft has been, obviously the rates have affected it, but it's built to last, right? It's like what was that? Duracell, built to last. Those are one of those companies. Rashid, you still on the line, man. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
And when you get over COVID, I'm here. I'm actually looking at DC, looking at some properties. So
Rashid, we're gonna go to the next person, but we're gonna see you in DC on the 10th. All right, bro?
All right, definitely.
Negative COVID.
All right, feel better, man.
Thank you.
Love, bro.
This that Red Panda Anthem. Ian, what's up? This that Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good? Red Panda Anthem. Whole clip going up. I know they can't stand it.